On the last episode of Paper Hats, we put our focus on the outside of the Imperial City. We finished connecting up the island to the ocean floor, we used moss to connect the grass to the stone, and we even hid all the sea lanterns that were making the grass ugly. It looks much better now. And in this episode of Paper Hats, we're putting our focus on the inside of the Imperial City. So much so that we are going to actually finish this base today. That is right, we're gonna finish this base today. I know, it's a crazy idea. There's still so much more work to do, and there's a few things that I'm just not gonna have time to get to. I've been off a little bit more than I can chew, but when is it ever really a bad thing to challenge yourself? I feel like I've learned so many things about building and diagonals and weird block palettes and just everything about this base has been a learning experience. I'm extremely grateful, and I'm happy that so many of you guys have enjoyed the process of building this. I love this place. My schedule got the better of me, really. I had to kind of neglect this base a little more than I wanted to, but all in all, I love how this place is turning out. But putting all the sappy stuff aside, we've got to get to work today. We've got to finish this base and we've got to make it look excellent. Now, with any project, the first step is to understand how much work you've got left and what that work is. So let's take a quick inventory. So one thing that we do have done and dusted is the market district. It looks amazing, and we've got some help from May to make it look all pretty and nice. Turning around to the PvP district, this place looks amazing. We've got some trees, and we even have a fully fledged PvP arena. Stepping back outside, I think the grass could use a little work, just a bit of bone meal and some polishing up, hide some torches, and this district will be good to go. Walking into the Arboretum district, we've got a pavilion made, and in the middle, we've got a space clear for a little statue. I've already got an idea for this. It is going to look amazing. Around the pavilion, we have actually gotten a request from the amazing Shay Play. She wants to build some really, really cool custom trees here. I know what they look like, but I'm going to save the surprise for you guys. They look amazing. I can't wait to see them here. Hopefully, she'll have them done by the end of the episode so I can show them off. Strolling right on into the next district, we have the Temple District. Surprise, surprise, this district has a temple in the middle of it. Who would have guessed? But this is basically where the city dwellers would go to worship, as I understand. And there are some buildings in the game that surround the temple. So these are all the districts I've been able to build in so far, and we've gotten some great progress. What you haven't seen yet is we actually have 2 empty districts that need something. These need to be built from scratch, and that's going to take a long time, but we're going to get there. You may just be wondering how I'm going to get all this done in this episode. I only have a couple more weeks to do this in real life too, so to that, I gotta say, I have a bit of a secret plan, but before I go revealing anything, we have to make an honest effort. We've got to do everything we can. So, first of all, let's tackle the Temple District. This temple is the last thing I was working on, and it's fresh on my mind, so I figure I can probably get this one done the soonest. All we need to do is get some entrances on there, and I think we have a couple holes in the roof that we need to patch up, and this one will be done, so let's get to it. This is about the time I got really excited about the final stretch of this project. I was motivated, I had a ton of ideas, it was gonna happen. Not to mention, I had it all planned out in my head, everything I was gonna do to prepare before my secret plan. It was gonna make it so easy, but unfortunately my time was cut short. I had some things going on in real life and I just couldn't prepare the way I wanted to, but that was no big deal because we still had the actual secret plan to do. So what do you do when you have a base this size that needs so much more work done, but you've only got a few more weeks to do it? I guess I could ask the help of the paper hats, but so many people have already helped me out with this base so far, I'd really hate to pull anyone else into it. And in another sense, you could look at the base, see how much we've done, and call it good, because it already looks incredible. I'm already so proud of what I've done. But I refuse to be a quitter. We are going to finish this thing. So what do we do? Well, if you take the story all the way back to June of 2024, I actually did a charity event called Guild Rush 2024. The reason why I'm telling you this is part of the incentives to donate to this charity were milestones to unlock really long streams from me. I'm talking 12-hour, 24-hour, 36 hours, and a whopping 48-hour streams from me. So far, I've done the 12-hour one, and you can probably see where I'm getting at. It was time to use our 24-hour stream and just knock this base out of the park. So that's what we did. I'm trying to express how happy I am, but I've got nothing left in me. I am legitimately happy that we made it the 24 hours. So there you have it, folks. We did 24 hours straight of building on this place. And wouldn't you know it, we didn't actually finish. But that's okay, because we got a massive amount of progress done. So just a quick flyover on everything we did. We added 6 buildings total, plus a few other small things. And I learned a lot about making these buildings. The first building that I built was this one. This one was built just like the ones that I did in the market district. And that was creating a rough outline. I've kind of got a courtyard here, if you want to call it that you can walk into. The only problem is these end caps here with the diagonals and the way they worked, it doesn't look very good. I kept it here just as a reminder of how far we've come and the things we've learned. But after that one, we moved on to these flat top buildings, as I called them. These were the easiest to build because I didn't have to worry about any sort of courtyard or anything. And the roofs look so clean. The way the walls are laid out looks so clean. These are just a breeze to put together, 100%. And lastly, we combine the two. So this one doesn't actually have a way into the courtyard, but the walls on the inside and outside work exactly the way these buildings do. And it made the roof look really, really nice. You get this nice separation. It's not just a flat top roof. You can still see the courtyard on the map. This was my favorite by far. But after building these buildings for what seemed like 8 or 10 hours, I don't really know the exact time. Also, I was getting distracted by Twitch chat the whole time, so who knows. But we were kind of running out of time, and I needed a couple buildings for this district. So what I did was I built one right here, just a flat top. Worked out really nicely, was quick to build, and to save even more time, I just copied it over but mirrored over that way. In addition to all that, we built this little pavilion in the middle here, and we did some street lamp things. The street lamps are definitely one thing we're going to have to finish before we call this base good. And for this empty space here, we are going to have to terraform it a little bit. I think I'll just do some bone meal, maybe go by tax plant basement, get some plants, pretty it up a little bit. And this can be like a second garden that people could walk through, I guess. We're taking creative liberties these days. Beyond that, I want to do a little bit of cleanup to this tower behind me. I've got to get all the wool and prankage off of it finally. In the top of the tower, I think we can definitely do better there. It doesn't make an impact in the sky very much. The top decoration needs to be just a little bit taller, in my opinion, so we can definitely do better there. And the very last thing, I think, is the top of this temple. I left some dirt here exposed, so we definitely have to cover that up. And I think we can call the base done at that point. There might be a little bit of bone meal to do in the grass, but it is time for our final time-lapse of this video. After this place will be done. We will not have to worry about it anymore. I'm excited to get it done. Also sad because I've spent so much time here, but let's just do it. And now for the hardest part of this video. I don't know whether to be happy or be sad, but the Imperial City, it's finally at a point where I'm willing to call it good enough. I'm so proud of what we've built this season, so proud of what we've been able to accomplish. There's been so many hours put into this base, and I just absolutely love it. As I said, I didn't quite get to everything I wanted to this season. I ran out of time, and I lost inspiration for some things. And the way I usually gauge bases is I want you to have something to look at everywhere you're looking. You're not seeing blank walls. You're not seeing things that could be filled in. You're always able to see a tree, a street lamp, something like that. I think that makes for a pretty good base, and that's exactly what we've accomplished here. So I'm super, super proud of it. Just flying around this base, seeing everything we've laid down, the thousands of blocks placed. We're on a basically custom 400 by 400 island, and not to mention the paper hats help. I think every single one of the paper hats this season has had some sort of involvement with this base, and you know, they helped me out a lot. In fact, if it wasn't for them, I don't think I would have been able to finish the base as much as it was. So thank you so much to the paper hats for helping me with this. It's been such an accomplishment. And if you look at the map, this right here is the entirety of spawn. Up here is shopping. And just for context, I have not changed the zoom. This is the actual size of the base. My base this season is bigger than the entirety of spawn. That's just how much work we've put in, and I have the paper hats to thank for it. And you guys, I really appreciate all the support throughout this process. And speaking of which, there is actually one thing we need to get done, even though I said the base was finished. We need to add something very special to this district. You see, during the 24-hour stream, I had a special redeem for people who were there to get their name as a moment in this base. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to take this little pavilion here, and we're going to put a lectern right in the middle, and we're going to write all 61 names in there. I cannot believe 61 people popped in and out of my stream. Here it is in all its glory, and nothing better than a diamond pedestal. I'll quickly flip through these pages. Feel free to pause and look at the names, but I don't want to take up too much time. Before we say our final farewells to this base and it just becomes another world download, I want to give you guys a complete before and after of this place. So let's do some replay magic. And seriously, everyone, thank you so much for all the support throughout the process of this base. It's much bigger than anything I've built in Minecraft, and it was such a grind, but I really enjoyed every single second of it. I think it turned out great. I don't have any regrets. It really sounds like this is my last episode of the season, but it's really not. I've got one more video to make, just fulfilling a promise I made at the beginning of the season. So be looking out for that one. And with that being said, it is time to say goodbye to the Imperial City. It's been such a pleasure building this base. Be looking out for the world download once Season 4 ends. Guys, thank you so much if you've made it this far in the episode. I'll see you guys next time for the Season 4 finale. Thank you guys again. Have a good day. Thanks so much.